Hey, 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 this is your girl, Dr. J. And you know, I always have something empowering to say. Welcome to Life Class. Oprah Winfrey said, let your life be a class, turn your wounds into wisdom. And so here I am taking up this space. Whew. Y'all, tonight's topic is so heavy, understanding death and finding purpose. For those of you that do not know, I recently lost my brother, almost 5 years to the date that I lost my mom. And I've really just been searching for answers, searching for truth, searching for comfort, healing, and really trying to offer that to other people. And so I just want to have a conversation tonight. Let me put in the comments um, the link to join us. So I post the link to join us in the chat. I really want you all to come on in the room and tell us about your death experience. How do you see death? What happens when we leave this earth? What does that look like? Do you believe in heaven? Do you believe in hell? Where do you believe your loved ones are? So I kind of want to just have a conversation about uh, understanding death, and finding purpose. Um, right after my mom passed, I got the opportunity to travel for work, and it really was like a healing journey. And I saw somebody write that on their post as well, that they have a travel business, and it's so therapeutic. And when you traveling, not rushing, not trying to be somewhere at an exact certain time, give yourself enough time, make sure you plan. Um, Life is just, oh my goodness, just calm. A lot of times we just be going through life just rushing, rushing, rushing. And that spirits, that Russian spirits be on people. Like sometimes I can be around a person and I just feel so uneasy, and it's because of their spirits. And so I really believe that people need to do the work. And that's the purpose of this life class, to create a space to help people do the work. Most people talk about change and healing, but we actually do not do the work. How many people actually do the work? Um, Les Brown says most people work harder on their job than they do themselves. Let me say that again. Les Brown said that most people work harder on their jobs than they do themselves. And so the purpose of this class is to help you work on you. In order for us to make this space, this world, a better place, it starts with us. It starts with us working on us, doing the work. We can only change the people that we come in contact with, our community, our household. So one person can make a difference. Let me make sure that this is public. Give me one moment. All right, there we go. So we should be public now. People should be able to comment. Click on the link. We want you to join us in the room. We are talking about understanding death and finding purpose. If you have lost a loved one, we definitely want you to share that experience with us. How did you heal? What was that like going through that process? So, for people that haven't experienced losing a loved one, first of all, consider yourself blessed. But just losing someone so close, not one person, but two people so close, it allows you to reevaluate life. Things that was important to me are not important to me anymore. And I just want peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding. Points blank in the period. That's all I want. I want peace. And I don't think people really understand that, because I'm in a point in my life where I realize that it's different from other people. People want to party, people want to hang out, people want to, whatever it is that they want to do. I want peace. And you guys, when I tell you that I really hadn't even had a chance to even grieve because I've been trying to find peace. You know, I can't, I'm the type of person that I am aware of my triggers. I am aware of who I am. I am aware of my cup. I am aware when my cup is full and runneth over. I am aware when my cup is empty. And I have learned to communicate that to other people when my cup is low, when I feel that I'm tired. The acronym that I like to use is HALT. HALT. Anytime I am hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, I halt, I pull back, I get to myself, go back to the power source, disconnect from people. And most people, they actually do the opposite. They connect to people, they look to people to fill their cup. And I just pay attention to how people, and that's okay. Is if that what works for you. And for a period of my time in my life, that works for me too. But I am on this journey where losing my brother really reminded me of my purpose and how we are here on borrowed time. We don't know the day nor the hour. And so when I think about the power that we have, so in the death part, losing my mom and my brother, you know, understanding that it helped me to realize my purpose. When I think about my brother and I think about how talented he was and how he just motivated and inspired me to see someone such a young age knew exactly what he wanted to do, who he was, and to really have to go out there and face the world, man, I wish I would have used my power and reminded him who he was. If you don't get anything else I say tonight, I want you to understand, more than I believe anything else, I believe that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And you all probably have heard me say this. I say this to my class all the time. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. What we say can bring life to people. What we say can bring death to people. How are you using your power? What we say can bring life to people. What we say can bring death to people. I want you to take a moment and think about and reflect. Just the things you've said today. Did you use your power for good? Did you use your power to hurt somebody else? Hey, Kimberly, thank you for joining. This is such a hard topic. And I know you know about this, and I really want you to kind of share about, you know, processing that, losing your father, and, you know, just going through that grieving process. And let me show that. I think I got a graphic here that shows the grieving process. And people don't know you go through denial, you go through anger, you go through depression, you go through, I mean, all these different stages until you get to acceptance, that you accept that they are gone, you accept what happened, and you really have to feel, deal, and heal from it. And so I want this to be an engaging conversation. I want you all to share with me exactly on how you deal with hurt, pain, death. Um, that pain, just being in that stage where I was angry, I'm just saying that's so mean. People come here and you get attached to them, you fall in love with them, and then they have to leave. That is so mean. But that was my selfish self thinking, me being in the flesh. But when I think about God and God's purpose, it's bigger than me. And what really helped me deal with death, probably better than anybody else, is I don't really think about the fact that they are gone. I focus on the memories that we had, because whatever you focus on, that's what's going to control you. So instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do have. And I know that's hard for us to do, and it takes practice. Kimberly Marshall said it's a process. Mine started with anger. I just started talking about the anger. Yes, yes, yes. So, because you really just have to go through those stages. And, like I was saying, my brother reminded me to live my purpose. Um, I think I had just gotten so caught up out here in this rat race of doing different things. And this right here, you guys, this is what I'm doing right now with this life class, is what I was created to do. It's what I've done with Camp Fabulous. It's what I've done with the Healing Circle Retreat. It's what I can do with my eyes closed. Really just helping people navigate through life, helping people find their purpose, helping people heal from the hurt, pain, shame, guilt that pulls us down in life. you know, I really practice dealing with storms. That's another reason why um, death, I'm able to deal with death a little differently from other people, because that has always been my prayer. I remember feeling so mad and angry that I let someone mess up my whole mood or whatever the situation was. And I began to pray, Lord, when all those around me are losing their head, help me keep mine. That's been my biggest prayer. And when I tell you, He has done exceedingly abundantly above all that I can ever ask, think, or imagine. When everybody else is losing their head, I'm calm. And the reason I'm able to stay calm, because when I get anxious, when I get, you can't think straight when you are in those mindsets. So I try not to get in those mindset. And if I find myself in those spaces, I use the word of God. I use my power to get myself out of those spaces. And whether you believe God is real or not, you guys, I'm not here to try to convince you. I'm not here. That's not my job. But my job is to tell you the power of words. Because no matter what you believe, you can speak power with your mouth. You have that power inside of you. And I just want to teach you how to tap into that power. And I've been writing mine my visions, my goals and dreams down for the last, 17 years. I've been speaking things into existence. And the tools that I'm telling you, I have used on this journey, and they have worked for me. And I'm just going to continue this healing process because most people don't heal. They just talk about the hurt. They use people, drugs, sex, food, and a number of other things to cover up the hurt and the pain. I didn't want that to be my life. I wanted to face the hurt, whatever it is, head on. And the first thing, like I said, I've been on this journey for 17 years because once I was going through school and finished school, got my PhD, I had all this time on my hand. And once I had all this time on my hand, all these memories from my childhood start coming back to me. Memories of me being abused, molested. Just when I tell you, just some of the worst of the worst. And that's when I got on this journey to find find out is God real or not, to find myself, to find my purpose. And that's why I created Camp Fabulous. I wanted to teach these girls all the things that no one taught me growing up. You know, in families, especially Black families, people are told to don't tell what goes on in this house. What goes on in this house stays in this house. And when we do that, we create um, a shelter for the devil to hide in. And the devil has been hiding in a lot of our families for a long, long time. That's why a lot of us can't get healing because we are afraid to tell our stories. We are afraid that mom and them gonna be mad, dad and them gonna be mad, such and such gonna be mad, it'll break up. Listen, you are dying while you are holding on to that hurt, pain, anger, whatever it is, shame. You have to let it go. And that's why I'm able to be here with all my flaws. I know my flaws. I have accepted them, and no one can use them against me. So I told you guys, and I'm going to keep saying, I love me enough for all of us. So it's okay, however you feel about me. It depends on what type of person you are. You'll sit on here and you will maybe gather something from this life class, or you may be the type of person that sit here and try to find everything that's wrong with the class. So we have a choice. He said, I place before you life and death, blessings and curses. Most people, I don't know why they choose death. I don't know why they choose to hurt people. Yes, I do, because hurt people hurt people. And so that's one of the reasons why I am on this journey to help people heal, to heal myself, and to help people heal. Oh, hey, Johnny. Yes, God, listen, we have to share our stories. And I just want to empower people to share their stories because everybody has a story. My story may not touch you. That's why I don't care if it's one person on here, 50 people. I'm not called to everybody. I don't want to be called to everybody, but you may be. Your story may be the story that changed someone's life. So I want to encourage you to share your story. I read that about 15 years ago in Purpose Driven Life. Rick Warren says that most people think that God wants to use our strengths, and he does, but it's our weakness that God really wants to use. See, our strength create competition, but our weakness creates community. When we be vulnerable and let down our guard and take off this mask, It shows others who we are. It shows our heart. It makes people connect to us. Like I said, it builds community. And so I just encourage you to share your story. And Janice, babe, when I tell you that you have a story, you have to come on Life Class and share your story. We have to keep doing this work, you guys, because do you see what's going on in the world today? And we have the power to speak life into people's life because people are hurting. They don't know where to turn to. They don't know what to do. And they are self-medicating. They're doing all these things to just go along to get along, as we say. And so I want to I want you to be intentional about your healing. I want you to be intentional about finding your purpose. I want you to be intentional about who you are and how you show up in the room. And so all of this takes work. And so I just thank you all for being here and willing to, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're paying attention is the first step to healing, the first step to finding your purpose, the first step to helping other people heal and live out who God created them to be. So I want you, make sure you all click on the link if you want to join us. I would love for you all to come on and share some of your personal stories. When I tell you all that I have some great guests lined up for Life Class for the next few weeks, but I didn't want to have a guest every week. I really want to come on here and have an opportunity to share with you, talk with you, answer some of your questions, and really just, I really haven't uh, just been vulnerable with you and talked about losing my mom and losing my brother. And so um, I'm here to just talk about that, just to remember their spirit and to offer you a space to share your story. So while you all are deciding if you want to share or not, I just want to talk more about purpose. How do you know if we are living or walking in our purpose? Um, how do you start off finding your purpose? Again, when I was on this journey about 15, 17 years ago, I think it was in 2007, and I started reading all these books because I really wanted to know I really want to know the key to life. Like, how do we heal? How do we deal with the storm? How do we deal with all these different things? See, you can go to school and learn how to become anything you want to be in this world, but no one teach you how to be mentally stable. And so I want to create a space to have those conversations, and I really like talking about this stuff. When I watch Super Soul Sunday and hear Oprah talking about having these conversations, because people have different views of God, of religion, of love, and most people, depending on how they was raised, they don't want to hear nobody. They don't want to hear nothing that contradicts what they learned growing up. They don't want to hear anybody, any religion that's different from theirs. They don't want you to question their religion. I am the exact opposite. I question everything, everybody, including God. Yes. Only a slave don't question somebody, so how do you know what you was taught was right? How do you know what grandma and them taught you was right? And instead of people being threatened by that question, I want you to be empowered and ready to answer. You need to know why you believe what you believe. Don't just go along because everybody else believe in the Bible, because everybody else is going to church, because everybody else I know why I believe what I believe, and I know what I believe. And I'm not here to try to get somebody to believe what I believe. I'm not trying to change what anybody else believes, but I want you to know what you believe. As an educator, as a professor, my job is not to change what you think, but my job is to teach you to think. You know, people want to think for you. People want to tell you how to think. People want to tell you um, the sky is gray and just want you to go along with it. No, you can't tell me the sky is gray and I'm looking at the sky and it's blue. No, I'm just, no, 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 no. So I like having these conversations. That's the only way you can learn and grow. Most people don't want to have these conversations, but I welcome open, thoughtful dialogue. And it's the difference between having an intelligent conversation. You can agree to disagree, but you can tell when people are fearful, and they don't want to talk about it. They're uncomfortable. These walls come up. They start calling you names. They start hitting below the belt. That's that's a sign when I'm having a conversation with someone, if they are intelligent enough to have this conversation, or if they're going to because they don't have the information, they want to use these labels and give you a good tongue lashing, as the people say. So just pay attention. You can tell whether or not a person have substance or not. But I want you all to talk to me. I don't want to just be here talking at you. I want to have a conversation with you. Anybody have any questions so far? Anybody want to share any stories? Don't forget you can click the link. Just stroll up the comments and you can click the link and join us, and you will be on the screen and we can hear you. You can ask questions. You can share your story. Um, I invite you to be a part of LifeClass. Oprah says, turn your wounds into wisdom. Make your life a class. I want you to think about all the hurt that you have endured, all the pain, the shame, the guilt. Do you think that you can help somebody else with similar situations that they are going through? Well, why don't you? What's keeping you from sharing your story? What's keeping you from being the best you? What's keeping you from healing? Like, these are questions that I really want you to answer. You don't have to tell me the answer, but you need to know the answer too. You need to know who God is in your life and what that looks like for you. You need to know what your purpose is. Why were you created? You need to know who you are. You ask most people who are they? They start telling you their name, they start telling you their career. They don't know who they are. And so I know that I am a healer. And for a long time, I don't even think I've ever even said that publicly, but I know that through our power with our words, and the only difference from me and you is that I know my power. That's it. You got the same power that I have. The same God that made me made you. And so we just have to use our power. I said I had a new comment. Whew, God will continue to call you out when you don't show up. Although I'm doing more, I'm getting called out right now for not. Ooh, baby, listen, listen, listen. Linda, listen. People are hurting. My little brother is gone. We don't know the power of words, you guys. And I just want us to remember and tap into our power. Don't let it be too late. Don't let it be too late. And sometimes we have the attitude where they did this and they did that, and then I'm not. Listen, our ego keep us from doing the right thing. Our ego really blocks us from being a blessing. Our ego blocks us from God. Ego stands for etching God out. And so I want you to get rid of your ego. Work on that. When I'm online and I just read some of the comments that people post under people's statuses, and I'm like, what do you believe? Like, who are you? Because if you knew who you were, you would not use your power to be talking about and throwing shots at people online. And it just breaks my heart because some people think it's so fun to get online and just talk about people and to point out all their shortcomings. We all have shortcomings. We all fall short. We all have something that we can be stoned to death for. Like, what make you think that you are so holier than thou that you can just call people out or mistreat people? Some of us really need to check ourselves. And baby, this topic that I'm finna get on, it's finna be a heavy topic, and I'm finna really make some people mad. The way the so-called people who say they love God, who say they are Christians, the way you talk about and treat some people because of sin, the way you treat people from the LGBTQIA plus community. Let me tell you my beliefs. Everybody is human. Everybody deserves to be loved. It is not our job to judge. We have been called to love, point blank in the period. I don't understand what in your Bible thinks that what have you read in your Bible make you think that it's your job to point out my sins or to tell me what I should and should not be doing? Where do people get this from? Like, that's why everybody don't need to be teaching the word. Everybody ain't been called. People lie on God every day. And y'all just sit there and listen to them where they said God said it, and you don't even say nothing else. If it don't line up with God's word and God's character, I'm just not gonna believe it. You just can't tell me anything in the name of God and just think I'm gonna roll with it. That's what slaves do. I'm nobody's slave. Period. And so, I just tell and I use my power again and speak to God, speak to the universe, speak to whatever is out there and say, I invite truth into my space, Lord. I just want to know the truth. Just lead and guide me to the truth. There are so many lies out here that people don't know what to believe. That's why you got to have a sound and solid foundation. And most people don't know their foundation. If they did, we wouldn't be witnessing all this hurt and pain and shame that we're seeing. And I do believe that we can change the world with love. It starts with us doing the work on ourselves. It starts with us changing our family. It starts with us changing our community. It starts with us changing our schools. And it's a ripple effect, but it starts with us. And so we have to be willing to do the work. What are some things that you know you need to work on? What are some things that you have been putting off and you know you need to confront? A lot of times we get busy with our goals and with life, and we don't actually do the work and pay attention to ourselves. Kimberly Marshall said, our job is to love all. We have to stand at the gates and answer for ourselves. He gave us one job, and we can't. We have to love one another. He didn't say judge one another. He didn't say talk about one another. He didn't say embarrass one another. All the stuff that we do to one another. And we be the first one to say that we're Christians. We be the first one want somebody to follow us. We be the first one that want to be a leader. Huh? The math ain't mathing. The math is not mathing. And so I want you to work on you. Start with one thing. What's one thing that you need to work on? What is one thing you want to change? What are some of your triggers? Like some of my triggers are, I can't stay, first of all, I'm single by choice. I don't want to sleep in the bed with nobody at night. I want to have my own space. If you stay here too long, I'm going to get irritated. Like, I don't care who you are, how much I like you. It is. I don't discriminate. It's across, and I don't know why I'm like this. I even ask, why, why? And it's because that I know my power. I know who I am, and when people see the light, people are drawn to your light in you. People know when you are a good person. People know when you are constantly moving, constantly doing things, constantly just being your best self. And people, they want to be around that. They want to touch that. They want to be a part of that. So I really, really understand. I get it. But my first my first responsibility is to make sure that I'm good, to keep my own cup full and run it over. And man, that's a full-time job. People come and they have all types of issues, especially your friends. Think about your friends that need therapy, but they won't get therapy. Think about your friends that need a life coach, but won't hire a life coach. Yeah, the best investment I ever made was in myself. Talking about a life coach or a therapist, a spiritual man. When I tell you I was talking to everybody and I still talk to somebody to try to work through the issues that's in my head, you need a professional. Don't put that on you. First of all, your friends not even equipped to really help you through some of the things that you need help with. And they don't give you sound biblical advice. And so be careful who you take advice from. Don't take advice from anybody that you wouldn't trade places with. Let me say that again. Don't take advice from anybody that you wouldn't trade places with. The fact that I have millionaires and stars and business owners calling me for advice is like, wow, that's a blessing. Like, I prayed for this. And when I really, really get to that level, and what the vision that I saw was so big that it really made me just stop. Can anybody relate to that? That God showed you a vision of yourself so big that it made you afraid. And we all know that fear is the opposite of love. Fear is not even real, you guys. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why don't we really understand how powerful we really are? Why don't we tap into this power? Y'all give me feedback, ask questions. Click on the link. Join me in life class. I end at exactly 8 o'clock. So don't let the clock go out and you like, man, I wish I would have said this. Man, it's something that you have to share that just may bless somebody else. So you guys, in this season of our lives, we're going to be obedient. In this season of our lives, we're going to be obedient. And whether you believe in the Bible or not, some of the stories I can't help but to, it just blessed my spirit. Like when the woman was caught in adultery in John 8, and all the church people wanted to stone her. Jesus said, he without sin cast the first stone. So all y'all church people that's out there talking about people, pulling out sin, talking about gay people, whatever it is that you're talking about, he without sin cast the first stone. That's a lesson right there. That's not your job to worry about anybody else's sins. And y'all know what? The people that's pointing out other people's sin is trying to hide their own. Because I'm working on me so much that I don't have time to worry about you or pull out or point out your sins. And so that's the attitude that we all need to have. That's the attitude that's going to help us make this a better place, because we got some work to do. We're fighting on every end. That's why he said put on the full armor every day. People are not putting on the armor every day. That's why you're tired, mad, sad, ready to fight. Can't nobody say nothing to you because you your cup is empty. Your cup needs to be filled and run it over. Or I tell you the truth. If we knew the gift of life, if we knew what we had, if we knew. So man, I'm gonna keep sharing my story. I'm gonna keep using my power. I'm gonna keep speaking life into you because I believe in you. I believe that you have a story to tell. I believe that you have a ministry in you. I believe that people out there want to hear your story. I believe that someone's out there, they won't get healed until you be obedient. I believe that you have a business in you. I believe that you have a book in you. I believe that you have a lifetime movement in you. I believe that you have whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you've been called to do, that I believe that you can do it. I want us to think about how full of life we were when we was kids. We didn't have care in the world. We would climb the trees when we worry about falling. Now that's all we worry about, falling. That's why he encouraged us to be like little kids. Whew, baby. All the things that we worry about. And it's like Adam and Eve when they was worried after they ate the fruit, because it opened their eyes as well. And so we're trying to get back to that place, and it's hard. It's hard to just walking in the spirit and being the light and just being a blessing to other people. You can't be a blessing to other people if you're rushing, if you're hurting, if you're sad, if you're mad. And so I encourage you to work on you. I encourage you to write the vision and make it plain on paper. Habakkuk 2:2 tells us to write the vision and make it plain on paper, that when she reads it, she may run with it. And so that's the first thing. Write down what makes you sad, what makes you happy. You know, a lot of times you ask people what they want out of life. I just want to be happy. Well, what does that look like for you? Most people can't even tell you. So we really have a lot of self discovery to do, a lot of self assessing to do. Uh, I do a lot of me work, um, because I'm going to be stuck with me for the rest of my life. And I want to be the best me that I possibly can be. And if you're not the best you that you can be, I can't afford to be around you, because your spirit is expensive, it's taxing, it's that low vibration. Like, you all ever been somewhere and somebody walk in the room and change the whole mood? They ain't even say anything, but their spirit, you can tell they walked in mad, they walked in with an attitude. Like, don't be that person. Everybody feel your energy when you walk in the room. So I'm going to ask you this, and I just want you to think about it. What walks in the room when you enter the space? What walks in the room when you enter the space? I want you to work on, because when I'm in a space, when my cup is low, I don't go around other people, because I don't want to attack other people. I don't want to pull other people down. So I stay to myself. I don't go out if I'm not in that space. So you guys, we have about 10 minutes left in this life class. And when I tell you that, you know, it's been hard losing my mom, losing my brother, and I don't want to face another loss. And I know that's a part of life, but man, man, man. So that's why we got to keep working on us. I'm going to keep working on me, keep speaking life, keep trying to motivate and inspire you guys. I guess some of the things that I would leave you with will be some of the scriptures that have helped me along the way. Just like John 8 story, some of the other stories, and this is probably a good way to end this life class. Baby, John 4, the woman at the well. When I tell you I am the woman at the well, I was thirsty and Jesus gave me living water. Just that whole story. The fact that this lady got up early in the morning just to go get some water. She thought she was just going to get some water, but she was getting up to have an encounter with Jesus. And Jesus sent the disciples on into the city to get food. And he sat by the well waiting on her. And in that time, Samaritans and Jews they didn't conversate with one another. And so when Jesus asked her for a drink, she was surprised. And she was like, he told her, if you ask me, I will give you living water and you will never thirst again. And she asked him, about this water. And he told her to go call your husband. And, that's when she said, he told her, no, you're not Of course, you're not married. And the one you with is not your husband. And she told Jesus, are you a prophet or something? And she told him, I know that the Messiah is coming back, and he the one that gave us this well. And Jesus told her, I am he. And as this time, the disciples was coming back. And this lady who got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get water left her bucket and ran in the city and told the people, come see a man that told me everything that I ever did. Could this be the Messiah? And so when I tell you that story blessed my spirit, because people want you to think that because you went through whatever it is that you've gone through, that you're not good enough for Jesus. The fact that this lady, some people call her a woman of the hour, some people, whatever they want to label her as, it didn't matter. She was the first woman preacher. And it was her, this woman that you all would call hoes and whatever else you probably would call, but it was this woman who society would deem less than, that Jesus revealed himself to. And it's because of this woman that the people came from the city to hear Jesus. She told them, come see a man that told me everything I ever did. Could this be the Messiah? And the people from the city came to hear Jesus, and they believed because of the testimony of this woman. Jesus is standing at the well to give you living water. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what they said about you. I don't care what mama and them did, dad and them did. I don't care what family you come from. I don't care what you did yesterday. God still wants to use you. When we think about Paul was a Christian killer. Paul was a murderer. He was a thug. And God still used him. So we ain't killed nobody. So what make us think that God can't use us? So I want you to tap into your power. I want you to know that you are here on purpose and that you got something to give. Don't let nobody convince you that you are less than. Don't let nobody convince you. Only the enemy came to steal, kill, and destroy. And Jesus said, I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So again, whether you believe in whatever you believe in, some of these stories, the way Jesus treated these people who he didn't want anything from, you know what I'm saying? They didn't even know who he was. And just the encounter blessed my spirit. The story about him at the wedding blessed my spirit. So I just encourage you all to go and read these stories. I'll be able to tell these stories when the word is in you. I don't care what type of hell is going around you, you still are ready. So put it in your heart so that when it's time where you don't have access to a Bible, to the word, that you still have that weapon to fight, because the word is your weapon. The word is your weapon. And if you don't know that word, you don't know your greatest weapon. So I just want you to tap into your weapon, learn how to use it, don't abuse it. Share your story, because there are people out there that's waiting on you to be obedient so that they can get healing. And so you guys, I just wanted to come on here and really just be vulnerable and just share how, losing my brother and my mom just have changed my focus, changed who I am. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So there are no mistakes. And so I'm just, instead of complaining, I decided to just go with the universe, you guys. Just stop resisting. Stop resisting and go with the universe. Just go with the universe. It's so much peaceful that way. Go with the universe. So go with the universe. Don't try to resist. Don't try to fight. Don't pick every argument. Go with the universe. No, there's not your battle. Every battle is not yours. Learn the power of no. You have the right to say no. No is a complete sentence. Don't let nobody make you do anything that you don't want to do. And so that's another reason why we feel a certain way, or I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. Period. And so, you guys, I just wanted to come on here and really have this tough conversation. I really didn't have it planned out today, but I knew I had to have this conversation. I knew I wanted to address it. I didn't know how deep I would go into it. But yeah, I really wanted to remind you that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. If you don't get anything else out of this life class, know that you have power. Your words matter. I don't care how small you think your words are. Your words matter. Your words are important. So practice speaking life. Practice lifting people up. And so, you guys, I'm going to leave you with the most powerful words that I've ever read. We've been called to love. When the disciples asked Jesus, what's the greatest commandment of them all? He told them to love God with all your heart and all your mind, and to love yourself as your neighbor. Love your neighbor as yourself. And so we've been called to love. What is love? 1 Corinthians 13 tells us love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, love does not boast, love is not arrogant, love is not rude, love does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in truth. Love bears all things. Love believes all things. Love hopes all things. And love endures all things. You guys, it's going to be love that changed the world. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Life Class with the fabulous Dr. J. I hope I said something to touch your heart. I hope you use your power to change the world. Thank you all for tuning in. God is fabulous. God is fabulous, and so are you. Baby, I am tired of talking. I can't even get my words out. When I tell you I'm tired of talking, I'm tired of talking. Have a good